You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
And that music means it is our time. Time for us, those weekend golf guys. I am John Ashton in the studio. He's Jeff Smith, somewhere in South Carolina, probably wading through a swamp somewhere or something.
Well, it's not that swampy because, they call them marshes down here.
Marshes. Yes.
They euphemisms, right? That's what they do. They change the word, make it sound better.
That's right.
Because if they just said, we're going to build this really cool stuff and we're going to put it in a swamp and put these really cool golf courses in a swamp, nobody shows up.
I remember the Revolutionary War hero, Francis Marion, the marsh fox.
Uh-huh.
No, it was the swamp fox, okay? So this is a recent thing.
I was going to say, I think isn't that a little revisionist history there?
That was the point I was trying to make. Yes.
That's some marketing. Right? How about that?
Oh, man.
I think that's hilarious. Yeah, I was down in Savannah, Georgia again, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that place at the Landings Club. Big deal there.
Yeah.
I had a chance to be a speaker at the Georgia PGA Section Teaching Summit, and that's been fantastic. So I get to get up and talk about something that I know a little bit about, and to a bunch of golf pros, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you're still engaged in teaching some teachers to teach, and we know that you're going to have to be missing for a couple of the segments of the show today, which is fine. We got your permission note, and everything has been set up in advance.
I just want to know. I got a hall pass. I want to know: am I exempt from the homework? That's what I really. That's what I really want to know.
There will be a makeup test when you're done, so don't worry about
it.
Let me tell you what you're going to miss is we've got a guy whose name is Reed Dickens, who owns a company called LA Shafts, and he and Bryson DeChambeau and a couple of other physicist kind of guys have designed a new golf shaft. Actually, two of them, which can give you, he said, even if you've got a 20 handicap, it's going to give you a lot more distance, and it's going to narrow your dispersion, and it's going to help with your putting too. Your putter is not going to wiggle, jiggle, and vibrate when it makes contact with the ball, as every putter now does, so that you will have yourself a much better time. And then we're going to talk about classic golf clothing and clubs. We're doing high-tech, low-tech, and no tech. That's what we're doing this week with those weekend golf guys. So hang out with us. We will be right back. You want to see how great a golf instructor Jeff Smith really is? It's very easy. $5golfclub.com. The number $5golfclub.com. For a large portion of their lives, our better halves have been fantasizing about the perfect wedding ring. They know the C's: cut, clarity, carat, color. For us guys, choices are non-existent. Manly Bands is here to rescue you from an otherwise hellish band buying experience. Manly Bands offers your hand the freedom to look how you want it in just about every type of earthly material imaginable. They have some rings made from, your basic silver, gold, platinum. They also have stuff like wood, dinosaur bone, and even meteorite. The stuff that killed the dinosaurs. And that was just so cool. I couldn't help myself. I had to order one of those, man. And it is so great looking. Once you select your Manly Band, you can get it shipped to you free worldwide with a 30-day exchange policy and a free warranty. Now, there might be a 50% chance your marriage working out. There's a 100% chance that you're going to love your band. So to order your Manly Band and get 21% off, which is a large chunk of change, plus a free silicone ring, go to manlybands.com/golfguys. That's manlybands.com/golfguys for 21% off Manly Bands. The best damn rings. Period.
Stunning.
You don't have to hit a shot to fall in love with the Pete Dye and Donald Ross courses at French Lick Resort. Our hotel and golf packages are the way to go. Add the casino and spas, and it's a road trip for the memory book. Safely get back to the game you love with one of the packages found online at FrenchLick.com. Legendary golf at French Lick Resort. A breath of fresh air.
Must be 21 to enter casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
And thanks for hanging out and coming back, those weekend golf guys. I am John Ashton in studio. Jeff Smith out teaching teachers to teach, which he does quite well. We have with us now Reed Dickens from LA Golf. I'm going to ask one question to kick off the whole thing, Reed. Do you think that technology can overcome ability in this game?
No, because at the end of the day, none of the long drivers are hitting, the long drive contest guys. They're not winning tournaments. The guys who are winning tournaments are finishing first in the field and chipping and putting in strokes gained, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you've always got to chip and putt.
Right. Do you see an end then in the improvements that technology can make? Because every 6 months, somebody's come out with a brand new latest and greatest head design, and your products, your shafts are basically technology driven, are they not?
Yeah, well, ours, if you think about it, ours are creative design structure more than technology, because no one had ever built a shaft from the midsection out. Every shaft in history has been like an ice cream cone.
Okay.
And so almost every piece of golf instruction that you've ever heard in your life is usually because of bad shafts. Have to have swing 80%, have tempo, let your hands be slow, let the club head catch up. That's all because of bad shafts. Okay. And so we created a shaft that the harder you swing, the more the club face corrects at impact. So it was actually really creative design structure that Bryson DeChambeau was actually very involved in creating.
Well, I guess it's easy, and you get him to do the math. You didn't have to.
That's right. We actually, a true story, our chief engineer, after our first call with Bryson 2.5 years ago, it was about a 2-hour call. He had to go home and get out his college textbooks just to figure out some of the questions that Bryson was asking about. So
you can almost see Bryson's mind moving, even just standing over a putt.
It's like the movie A Beautiful Mind. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I did read where he did, and you just mentioned where Bryson did help. Do you have to be a Bryson DeChambeau to enjoy the benefits of your shaft?
No, that's actually one of the main messages I try to be an evangelist about. In fact, Bryson says in one of the videos on our website that the two things he would tell every amateur is swing harder and get a stiffer shaft. And so even if you're a 20 handicap, if you have our shaft, the LA golf shaft, the harder you swing, it allows you to be more athletic, right? Historically, the way shafts were designed, you had to be very mechanical, and everything was about tempo. Now you can swing more like an athlete, more like a baseball player, and you can really go after the ball. Whether you have a 20 handicap or a scratch, you can improve your club speed. And the reason why I don't think that's ruining the game is that when you increase your club speed, you're also increasing your risk. So Bryson hits the ball 360, 370 yards. He hits about 1,000 balls a day sometimes, right? And so he has to master delivering the club face square. If you want to add 50 yards to your drive, you can, but you're also going to add risk.
Yeah, and maybe 50 yards farther into the woods.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's not going to overcome your ability.
You still need to practice delivering the club face, and no matter how far you drive it. I saw Dustin Johnson, Sunday in the tournament. He drove it all the way down to the green, left side of the green on a par 4, and then he chipped up, and it went too far past the hole, and he two-putted for a par. Right? It all comes down to chipping and putting.
Yeah, exactly. The old putt for dough. Putt for dough, drive for show thing.
That's right.
But you also have a putter shaft, and that's something that I think might immediately affect every amateur golfer.
Thank you for asking about that. We actually think our putter shaft is going to change the game of golf. And the reason why is that even tour players don't realize how much deflection or wiggle is in the putter head on contact. So if you're putting from over 10 feet out, on contact and on forward motion, your putter head wiggles just a little bit, called deflection. Right. Historically, if you made a putter shaft that was stiffer, it would feel like you were putting with a steel pole. We put proprietary anti-vibration material up in there, and we created a putter shaft that's exponentially stiffer than any putter shaft on tour, but it's buttery soft. Dustin Johnson used it for 1 hour the other day and put it in play the next day and had the best putting day on Sunday. He made 146 feet of putts.
Well, last year, Barney Adams, we had him on the show. He invested in a thing called stability shaft because he said that was really the only growth area left in golf.
Well, and this is one of my soapboxes that I talk about all the time. The club manufacturers had all the marketing dollars, right? Yeah. So the club manufacturers spent the last 40 years brainwashing the consumer that the club head matters. When the truth is, the club head hit a technology ceiling probably over a decade ago. The ball exit speed is regulated. The initial ball velocity off the club face is regulated. So TaylorMade has the Kingdom and Callaway. They all have these R&D centers, and they're innovating, but the ball can't come off the club face any faster. The shaft is what actually affects your ball flight more than anything else. And in some cases, we're adding 10 to 15 yards of carry to people's drive and decreasing their dispersion because of the spin rate. So there's two kind of holy grails that even Nota Begay on the Golf Channel said this. We kind of achieved two holy grails in the shaft space. One is people historically have thought that if you go stiffer, it gets heavier. And we actually made a shaft that's stiffer but lighter. And then the second thing is that we created a shaft. Usually, historically, if you add distance, it usually increases dispersion. You get less accurate. We have seen with our Toronto shaft that from the tour all the way down to public municipal course, 20 handicaps, people are adding distance, but they're actually decreasing their dispersion or getting better accuracy because the club face slams shut on impact.
Is there a minimum swing speed now that a player should have in order to benefit from using yours?
We have a Tour Access, a shaft called the Tour Access, which is for lower swing speed. It's a more traditional design shaft. If your swing speed's lower than 90 or 90 miles an hour or so, then we have a shaft for that.
Okay.
But for most athletic golfers, I would just go lighter, right? Instead of having a 65 gram Toronto, I would go with a 55 gram Toronto. If you're older but I still think the Toronto is a good shaft for anyone with decent swing speed.
So I imagine that you are a great proponent of custom fitting for your clubs.
Yeah. So I've been saying every day on this podcast tour that two major things happened in the last, call it 10 years.
Okay.
Club fitters got private equity dollars. And because of that, they expanded, right? You can find a really sophisticated club fitter on every street corner now.
Yep.
And they started advertising. They got private. So there was this private equity dollars got infused and injected into the club fitting world. So they have way more advertising money and there are way more locations.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that launch monitors and simulators became as common as having a set of clubs. You've got, I'm exaggerating, but you've got people who are 20 handicaps in Little Rock, Arkansas, ordering $20,000 simulators for their basement. And there's more data than there's ever been.
Right.
So between this information explosion and this club fitters have scaled. I think the combination of those two have made people more aware that the shaft is the engine of the golf swing.
Yeah. Yeah. You have more information and more people who understand that information, which is of utmost importance. Yeah. Like Club Champion is expanding greatly. There are club fitters in almost every golf course around anymore anyway.
So you don't have to go to your local pro anymore and hope that they know how to build the club properly and hope that they know how to tip and trim and grip the club. When I was growing up in the country, I worked in the cart barn. I was kind of poor growing up, and I was cleaning clubs in the cart barn. And we had one guy that worked in the cart barn, and he was the guy at the country club that everybody knew how to build a set of clubs. Like he knew how to tip and grip. And looking back, who knows what he knew, right? he was just the guy, right?
He knew how to put the glue on a shaft.
Yeah. Now you don't have to do that anymore. There's a Club Champion or a Golf Tech on every street corner. Right.
Lucky for us. Because the whole COVID thing, I think, is taken more people who have had clubs in their garage unused for 10 years and got them dusted off and back out on the course, which is good and bad news. It's good for the industry. It's bad if you want a tee time at the last minute, Well, it's funny. We've been joking, some friends of mine, that everyone says that golf exploded because of it was a socially distant sport. I think they're leaving out one of the other reasons, which was a way to get out. There was a lot of people that needed to get out of the house. they were stuck in their house, homeschooling and Zooming with their kids, and spending more time with their wife than they had in 30 years. And so golf was a socially distant sport. It was also a pass to get out of the house for 6.5 hours. Exactly. Great excuse. Reed Dickens with LA Golf, the shaft company. Shameless self-promotion, man. How do folks get more information and check out and see if it is something that actually they need?
First of all, you can find us on Instagram at LA Golf, and then our website is LA Golf Shafts with plural, lagolfshafts.com. And we're actually the first shaft company in the industry ever to be able to sell directly to consumers. So you can buy a shaft on our website that's already tipped and gripped. You can pick out your favorite grip. You can tell us whether you want a TaylorMade or Callaway or Titleist or Ping or Cobra tip, and we will send you a shaft that's already tipped and gripped, and you can pop it in and play that same day you get it in the mail. You don't have to go look for somebody to build it. So we're selling directly to consumers, and we're selling them fully tipped and gripped, which no one's done either one of those before. We're trying to make it as seamless as possible.
Reed Dickens.
If we're going to sell you a $469 shaft, we want to make it easy.
That would be the saving grace to a $469 shaft. If it sinks more putts and hits longer drives, worth every penny.
The CEO of Chick-fil-A, Dan Cathy, always says that it's not what you pay, it's what you get.
Yeah.
Sometimes people focus too much on what you pay. It's all about what you get. If you're a gambler, you want those extra 15 yards.
Definitely. Yeah. Hey, even if you're not a gambler, if you just want to impress somebody who has been unimpressed by your game for years,
that's right.
Worth it. Reed Dickens. It is great to meet you, man, and good luck. So check him out, lagolfshafts.com, and hang out here because we've got more, a little bit more low tech, but still pretty cool. We're coming right back with it. Just like you, I've been working from my home office all year. And just like you, I get up every once in a while and walk around because my butt went to sleep. And I say to myself, and I'm sure you do too, why can't somebody somewhere make a chair that's both good looking and comfortable? Well, they have. It's called an X chair. And the secret is not only their patented dynamic variable lumbar support, or DVL, which offers unbelievable lumbar support to my lower back, but now thanks to their new XHMT technology, I can also get heat and massage therapy while I'm sitting at my desk. That's right. My X chair has heat and massage features. Does your chair do that? No? Then you need an X chair, and it's on sale now for $100 off. Go to xchairgolfguys.com now. That's the letter X, chairgolfguys.com, or call 1-844-4XChair. X Chair has a 30-day guarantee of complete comfort, and you can finance your purchase for as little as $30 a month. Go to xchairgolfguys.com now and use the code XWheels for free X-Wheel blade casters. xchairgolfguys.com.
If you want a good cigar, you go to a good cigar shop. You want the best, you go to Famous Smoke Shop. Let us deliver your favorite cigars right to your doorstep at America's lowest price. Famous started out as a small shop in New York City. Now we're putting our 80 years experience in the business to work making deals on the cigars you love, from wallet-friendly everyday smokes to high-end luxury cigars to mark a lifetime achievement. Let us show you what's this exclusive Famous offer. Go to FamousSmoke.com and pick from more than 8,000 cigar brands, fresh and ready to ship from our client-controlled 24,000 square foot humidor. Then check out with the promo code 24U. That's 20FORYLU, and we'll take $20 off your order of $99 or more. Every purchase you make is backed by our Famous Freshness Guarantee. Get real cigars from a real cigar shop and save $20. Now with the promo code 24U. Shipped direct to you from FamousSmoke.com. That's FamousSmoke.com.
And welcome back to Those Weekend Golf Guys. I am John Ashton in studio. Jeff Smith is still out on the range teaching. He will be joining us in just a little bit. But right now we have Marc Goldsmith with us, who's associated with a cool website called golftribute.com. First off, Marc, thanks for joining us here on Those Weekend Golf Guys. And
thank you.
How'd you get hooked up with the Golf Tribute site? I mean, it's just, first off, it's just such a cool idea.
Right. Well, I'm in the promotional products business, so I primarily help companies brand themselves with imprinted items, normally at, decent, minimums, 50, 100 items and so on. Golf Tribute emailed me because they're in my association, and they said, do you want to learn about Golf Tribute? And I said to myself, well, I don't know that much about golf. I haven't played since I was a kid almost, but I should know more about this game. And I saw their website and it really impressed me. So I got up on a Zoom call with them, and it wasn't just like one contact. It was like 6 contacts. Like the whole crew was there. They were so friendly, so helpful. And I'm like, I love what you do. I love how they really pay homage to the old school golf game tradition, how there's, they really love the game. And it's so obvious. And I'm like, I want to help. If I'm going to push products, this is the one I want to push, because it's a time-honored tradition. They do a great job with also, giving 10% of the profits to First Tee, which is like one of the oldest and largest American golf charities.
Yep.
Helps underprivileged kids learn the game and get great life skills. So that's basically it. I was just an open-minded guy that once they reached out to me, I'm like, yes, I want to learn all about you, and hopefully I could help move your products.
What I was impressed with was the attitude, which you alluded to too when you met the guys. Now, is it an American company? I mean, if they're giving money to First Tee, I would imagine it is. Where'd they get the Scottish dude to do the videos, man?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he just he immigrated over. But it's definitely American. Their items are handcrafted.
You can go to this site, golftribute.com, and first off, they have 3 of the coolest pieces of clothing that I've seen. And it's very traditional. It's 19th century style, European style golf stuff. It's the clothes that they were wearing in the movie, the Legend of Bagger Vance.
Okay.
The clothes they were wearing in that movie. It's because it's from that time period, early 20th century, late 19th century. And like Marc said, it's they're homage to golf. Plus you can get a set of golf clubs, hickory shafted, but not old golf clubs. They're not pushing mashies and niblicks and stuff. This is
made to order.
Yeah, they're custom made.
Yep.
And the heads are high tech, just like you'd buy, from any of the big name golf companies, but they just have hickory shafts. But even the stats of the shaft, the way they work is similar to a graphite shaft. How they've done that, I don't know. But then again, I don't need to know.
Right.
All I need to know is that it is. But I mean, and they're just pretty.
Yeah.
And a lot of us like to, I don't want to say use status, but a lot of us like to go to the course and, put the bag out on the cart and feel good when guys walk by and peek in and go, ooh.
Right. Where do you get that?
You want to get noticed, man.
Right.
Pick up a set of the hickory shafted clubs.
Right.
And see what happens.
I think it also kind of like reminds you of like those values and traditions of those old times, how dedicated these guys were, how loyal they were.
Yeah.
How they weren't like all distracted like a lot of modern day people are. I think it just brings you back there and really helps center and ground you.
Yeah.
It's a great conversational piece, but also just a great way to reflect a little bit and, just feel a part of history.
One of the things I want you to do the website is their mission basically is to get you to feel the game, not get out there to win, not do all the high tech stuff, not, hit 380-yard drives.
Correct.
But just commune with nature, with the way things used to be and just be cool, man.
Yeah. It's a skill-based thing. It's going to help. I think it'll help everyone become a better golfer. They're not made to, like you said, to drive the longest, to go the furthest, but it's really a way to love and respect the game and just enjoy it. Like really, if you feel like if you're ever lacking appreciation a little bit, this will bring you right back to it.
Yeah. So you have a young child with twins on the way, I understand, Mark.
Yep.
So that explains why you haven't been to a golf course for a while.
Yeah.
And why
absolutely.
you probably won't be for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, there are still ways you can enjoy the game, even sitting in your living room.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but I'm also a video gamer, so I've always appreciated like even just Mario Golf, Tiger Woods golf. So it's a game that even Wii golf, it's something that even when playing virtually, it calms you down, it centers you. Yeah. And of course, just watching it on TV, if I get some more time, that's something I'm interested to peek into again.
And one of the best things that ever happened to me is when your children get old enough and get interested.
Right.
I took my daughter out when she was about 6 years old and just went to the driving range, and she was like, just put a club in her hand and said, swing it. So she swung and she hit the ball, and it went far and straight and high, and she was hooked. She was hooked from that moment on. And one of the LPGA golf instructors that was at the driving range came over and just introduced herself and said, young lady, you're a natural,
Right.
And that was just, being able to play golf with your children is just, it builds memories for you and for them.
Right.
And it's an extra bonding experience. I mean, golf, you have some theories about golf for your own self, don't you?
Yeah. I thought about, I thought about like once you invited me to the show, I wanted to kind of like circle back to golf and remember like, why I used to enjoy playing at the camp and what I like about golf. And I thought about it more.
Okay.
And I do think golf is a lot like life in many ways.
It is.
I'll give you like 2 ways because I know you don't have forever, but
sure.
One is just the fact that we all have like 9 clubs in the bag. That's right. About 9 clubs, right?
14 total if you count all of them.
The wedges, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Sorry. Right. And the wedges, I think like kind of like everybody in the world is kind of like a golf club in a way, because we all have different specialties, different strengths and weaknesses. And we all need to, kind of respect that. Because like, I think a lot of times I see people, they read something or they want to be like someone, but you have to really think critically, like, is this person aligned enough with me? Like maybe you're a wood and you're trying to be like a putter who's very successful at putting, Right. So it's just not going to work as well,
Man needs to know his limitations. That's what you're trying to tell me, right?
Yeah. Or hire a wood when to do the job,
right.
and you keep putting away.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you're a wedge and you're going off the tee, you look ridiculous. Like
that's right.
You could work very hard to be okay at it, but maybe just a little smarter to hire someone else who's more natural for it.
That's true. You can't be all things to all people.
I think we're 7+ billion golf clubs all trying to make the world a better place, but we have to know how we could actually do it in the best way possible. Instead of just, or if someone tells you this is the way to make sales, this is the way to get in a relationship, you have to ask, is that like my way though? You know, like maybe I'm learning from a 4-iron, and I'm just like
and
not that, you know.
And you're a pitching wedge.
Right. So
very cool.
And I'll share one more.
Sure, yeah.
One other thing I thought of, and by the way, like this is really, I thought of this. I didn't search for this on Google, so I think this is an original thought. But so, anyways, the other thing I thought of is like when you play golf, the weather is a factor, right? You can't ignore it. So I think the weather is kind of like our emotions. You know, we have to. In some cases, it's kind of irrelevant because like you got to keep playing the game of life no matter what the weather is, you know? On the other hand, it's very relevant because we have to respect our emotions because if we don't adjust our procedure, like on the golf course, if the wind is blowing strong one way or even if it's super hot or super cold, you have to swing differently. You have to adjust yourself. So if you're emotionally, if you're very like, if you feel overwhelmed or if you feel hurt, that's a signal that you have to change something. Maybe, change your perception of how an event that just happened. Because otherwise you could forge ahead, but you're probably not going to be as effective because you have something on your mind. You don't feel clear. So we have to respect the weather, just like we have to respect our emotions. Because I know personally, a lot of times, like if I'm scared of something, I just barrel ahead. And maybe if I took a step back and, maybe did some deep breathing first, I'd be more effective.
Yeah. We talk a lot too about, a 2-club wind,
Right.
Like you said, you have to make the adjustments.
Got to make the adjustments.
And also not only make adjustments, but you have to be aware.
Right.
And that's something you have to be aware of everything around you, not just the weather, not just the wind, but the thickness of the grass beneath your feet that the ball's laying on, what direction the grass is growing in, what the elevation of the ground is. I mean, all of these things compile together to make it so that you can make a good shot. And it's the same thing in life. You have all of these outside forces that you have to pay attention to in order to make the proper decisions. So,
well, I think you just actually added to the metaphor because like I could actually see like kind of what you just said, like maybe like the terrain and stuff like that could be like, your stamina at the time, your health,
Yep.
So like, you have to think about, everything, that could be another aspect of life that we have to consider,
Feel free to roll with it, Mark. Forward. Feel free to go with it.
Yeah. So,
take the whole thing and make it yours, man.
Yeah.
Now, golftribute.com is the website. What do you have your own website where you sell your stuff?
So my website is timelysp.com. Like Sam Pope, that stands for Signs Promotions, and Timely is TIMELYSP.com. Maybe any of your listeners are looking for something that for an event for a decent amount of people. That's a great website to go to.
Okay.
But really the best way to go forward is whether you want to go through Golf Tribute or get something else, just give me a call or email me. My phone number is 516-318-4537. And my email is Marc, M-A-R-C, at timely, TIMELYSP.com. Also want to add, if you want to get anything from Golf Tribute, I'm going to give 10% off the price on the website. We should be able to get just about everything for Father's Day, other than the irons, which take a little longer. Those might take 8 weeks.
They do them from scratch.
Right.
Order them and then they build.
Yeah, if you want to get like the hickory putter, that's about 4 weeks. We should get that for Father's Day. And a lot of other items could do that or sooner. But it's a great time. Just send me an email, give me a call. I'll send you a confirmation. We'll set it up and we'll get started.
Check it out. It's golftribute.com. You can go there and look at what they've got. I mean, if you are at all into the history of the game, the roots of the game, the traditions of the game, that is a website that you need to interact with on a regular basis. Marc Goldsmith, appreciate your time, sir. And thanks for the metaphors, man. We'll run with them too.
Yeah.
All right, man. And when the kids get older, take them out to the golf course. Well, right now you need to hang with us because Jeff is coming right back and we're going no tech with the next conversation. Okay, spring is very young, only a few days, yet every golf course you go to here, the grass is so green. How do these guys do it so early? I can't even do it like in the late spring. And then you realize they have superintendents with agronomy degrees that know exactly what the soil is like and they know what to use, when to use it. I don't. I assume you don't. I don't have to because I came across this company called Sunday. they will take care of my lawn. I give them my address online and up popped my lawn. It told me how big it was. It told me what the soil composition was like. And it told me that there was a box on the way with all the stuff I needed to treat the ground I had to get the grass I want. All I have to do is take all the pre-packaged stuff, hook it to a hose, and spray it. I know how to do that. Go to sunday.com/golfguys. Not only will you see what I'm talking about, but you will get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. That's $20 off your custom plan at getsunday.com/golfguys.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text MAINE to 321-321 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenic samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text MAINE to 321-321. That's MAIN to 321-321.
You want to see how great a golf instructor Jeff Smith really is? It's very easy. $5golfclub.com. The number $5golfclub.com. Okay, Jeff, so I know you weren't able to participate, but you heard some of the stuff going on there. That shaft thing, man, I think, just plug and play, man. That's going to be great.
You know what? I sit there and think about the way that they do this. So they come up with this big fancy shaft, and all of a sudden they got the right tip for whatever putter you've got.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick whichever grip you want. You're like, okay.
Yep.
So you can make this whatever you want. Could you imagine getting one of those $400 putters and then go put a $400 shaft in it?
Yeah.
You're like, and you're thinking, why not? Well, it's involved in more than 40% of the strokes you take on the golf course, right? So why wouldn't we?
It is going to be your favorite club, hopefully. It is going to be your most used club. So it would stand to say you should probably invest more in it than you do in any of the other clubs, individually speaking. It makes sense.
You could think that, right?
But you could go to Odyssey, or you could go to Scotty, or you could go to any of those places and say, listen, I just want the head. Couldn't you?
They don't sell just the heads. They make you buy the whole putter.
Well, then go to a fitter. You can get just a head at a fitter.
Yeah, you can get a head just from a fitter, but it isn't going to be a Scotty head. Might be a Scooty head. Right?
Very close.
Very close, right? Might be a Scotsy head.
You pay less because there was a typo.
Exactly. Right? Might be someplace not based in the original manufacturer location. So yeah, you might be able to get a knockoff for that. But then you wouldn't go putting a $400 shaft in a knockoff head now,
no,
would you?
You probably wouldn't. No. So okay, so just make the investment, get over it, and just beat everybody from now on. And then of course, I want to thank Marc Goldsmith again with the just the classic stuff. It would be so cool to show up at a golf course with a set of hickory shafted golf clubs that performed as well as anybody's graphite shafted or steel shafted clubs.
I've seen these old hickory shafted things before, that actually had a steel shaft inside of it.
Yeah.
So it was almost like this hickory veneer.
Yeah.
Right? It's just but they look cool.
They do look cool, man. They do look cool. You got to check out that website and just see how cool everything looks there. Listen, I have a question, and I know that we have had conversations over the past few years. I don't understand the whole penalty area situation much at all. Yellow flags, red stakes, all that kind of stuff confuse me.
Oh, am I putting my USGA rules official hat on, or am I putting on my I can't stand the USGA hat on? Because one of them I like.
Put on my co-host is an idiot and I have to explain it so even he can understand it hat. Okay.
No, that hat's getting worn out. I got to get a new color of that one, right? Because this one's it's getting a little faded.
Okay, here's
a little ring around the thing on the inside.
Here's what I don't understand. When you hit the ball into a hazard, And
you mean a penalty area?
Which is water, a penalty area or a hazard. Okay, but you hit it into water. And this is my understanding. Now, you hit it into water. You drop the ball at the point on the fairway or on the course where it crossed into the water, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, 1 club length from that spot.
Okay. Fine.
Right.
Fine. But that's the mark on the course where you begin your
that's
your
where you say, okay, it crossed the margin of the hazard here. I got a couple club lengths. We go out, and then we drop it no closer to the hole. Bam.
Okay.
Let's go play golf.
So why is it when I'm on a par 3 over water and my ball clears the water, but I put great spin on it and it hits the green and backs up and falls into the water, I have to hit from the other side of the water and not from the side where my ball crossed into the water?
Sorry about your luck, brother, because it did not safely navigate the hazard. Didn't
yes,
stop.
It did.
Didn't come to rest on the other side of the hazard. It was still in motion. Sorry about your luck, brother. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, on many occasions it does. Yes, indeed.
That is just it, right? That's the fact, Jack.
Okay, and you can just with your, hey, that's the way it is thing with my problem, but you're still going to get all upset about fixing a divot in the middle of the fairway.
Look, I hit a better shot than you did, and I worked hard to get that better shot than you did, Mr. I can't clear the hazard.
No. Okay. Actually, in real life, if we both cleared the hazard or both got over the hazard to begin with, it would be your ball who would have the spin on it, not mine. Okay.
I know, but at least I'd have the right club in my hand, and I would fly it a little bit further.
Club in my hand. Okay.
Don't mess with me, boy.
hey, we're in a mood, aren't we, huh?
We are in a mood today.
Well, thanks for clearing that up for us.
Yeah. I love clarity. It's so much fun. It's not as fun as sarcasm, though. That's way better.
I still don't understand it, though. I mean, okay, so they say, well, the ball didn't do what it was supposed to do or whatever.
It didn't stop. That's the kicker, right? So let's say your ball comes to rest, right? So here's a fun one, right? You hit your shot. You describe it as, boom, I hit the front of the green, head spin, rolled back in the water because, of course. This golf course I played loves to shave it down just like Augusta National and get a whole bunch of water balls because they sell them all. And guess what? They dig it really deep on that side of it. So nobody can go in there and fish their balls out. So
right.
we can sell those water balls for $2 a piece right back to you.
Or $5 a piece if we put a logo on it. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. What's the difference between that and the ball coming to rest on the green? And then as you walk up, the wind picks up, blows the ball back off the green. You then get to replace it.
Okay. Because it had come to rest.
It had come to rest.
Okay. I forget the guy's name too, but what was that controversy they had where the ball hovered on the cusp of the cup?
Oh yeah. For like a minute.
55 seconds, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's 45 seconds longer than you get to let that go.
But it hadn't stopped moving.
Well, it had stopped moving and then it began moving again. See, that's the thing, right? Because that ball sat there and sat there and sat there. Mm-hmm. And then as they walk up and look at it and look at it and look at it, all of a sudden, apparently a cloud had passed over. The earth turned another partial of a revolution. And then the ball started to like move again. They kept looking at it like, yeah, it's time.
Come on.
That's the deal, right? You get 10 seconds.
From the time it stops.
So, yeah, the moment it stopped and all that. So you get 10 seconds to walk up and see it and all that. So time had passed.
Okay.
That's really all there is to it. Time had passed. There's a couple of rules in golf that time matters. That's one. Mm-hmm. How about the new one now where, it used to be 5 minutes. You got to search for a ball. Now it's 3. All right. So here's the deal. All right. Let's say, John, that you're actually trying to play. I know this is going to sound funny. By the rules of golf.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say that it could happen someday. Sure.
It'll happen. I know. Yeah. Let's just say it. So here's the thing. The clock that no one seems to ever turn on, mm-hmm. right? It's supposed to start. Oddly enough, who's got the clock anyway? Who's got the stopwatch in the group?
I left
Who's
mine at home.
Who's going to sit there and go and do this? Yeah. When's the clock supposed to start? When the player arrives upon the location and begins his search. Mm-hmm. So here's how I do this with the high school kids and their parents. I now say to the parents, look, your job is to never walk with the kid, behind the kid, or anything. Your job is to be a half a hole ahead 100% of the time with binoculars.
So you can start looking
see where that ball's going.
You can start looking before the guy gets there.
Find that ball the second that sucker hits the ground and put some flag there, some mark there, some hat, head cover, whatever the heck you got.
Yeah.
So that because when your son shows up or your daughter shows up, that's when the clock starts ticking. So you have an advantage. So go do that. So let's say, John, it's back to you now and you're playing by the rules of golf.
Yeah.
Send the other guy up there and go, hey, man, let's do each other favors today. If we're going to play within the rules of golf, you keep your eye on my ball. I'll keep my eye on your ball.
Yeah.
And then you go up and look for mine and point it out, and I'll go up and look for yours. And when you're driving the cart, Mr. Partner, I'll hop out about 50 yards behind, and I'll walk the rest of the way. You go up and find the ball.
Right.
And then when the time I get there, we're all good because you got to keep your eyes out on it anyway. And then I will do the same for you. Because when you can delay the time that the player actually gets there, you're delaying the time for the start. So you just have some other people out in front of you, and you can be each other's four-caddy and still play within the rules of golf in case you cared.
I like that caveat there, in case you cared. I appreciate it. I appreciate it immensely, man. Okay, well, the USGA will be happy with you today. You're sticking up for them. That's good.
I am. Yeah. And I'm not telling you how to circumvent the rule.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you how to play within how it's written.
That's right.
So that we don't actually violate the rule. And here's the thing, John, you may go play in, because look, we got tournaments, like the Amateur Players Tour out there. And we've talked to many of these tours that are out there that are great for people to play in. And so what I'm telling you is what I'm telling all the listeners to say, look, when you sign up for some of these fun amateur tournaments, they're going to hold you to the rules of golf.
Yeah.
And the time thing is a big deal.
It is.
So here's the question for you again about this time thing. Who the heck's got stopwatch?
Right.
How do we know it's been 3 minutes?
Because somebody's been counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
Yeah, right. I don't think that's happening. So then it's up to that. Well, we've been searching for a little while. No, man, we're still good on time. Let's keep going. Besides, that was a $4 golf ball.
That's right.
We're going to find that sucker.
Which reminds me, I just heard something today, too, that I had never heard before. When you play in a tournament like that, are you not allowed to use refurbished golf balls?
What?
So that's what I heard. Somebody said, listen, I need a recommendation of a ball that plays like a Pro V1 but is substantially less expensive because I can't afford them. And somebody said, well, you can get reconditioned, refurbished Pro V1s for $20 a dozen at Walmart. And somebody else said, yeah, but you can't use those in a tournament.
I would like to know why.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, if the rules man has never heard that, then,
So here's the thing, right? There is an approved list of golf balls.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that I've got an approved golf ball, John, and I hand it to you, and you hit it into the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And just notice how I got out of that?
Yeah.
And instead of making it sound like I actually hit one into the pond, I pawned that off on you.
Because you'd never do that. I understand. Yes.
I get it. Right. So it sits in that pond for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Executive producer Mark, when he plays with you next time on the same hole and he hears you complaining about exactly where you hit the ball in the water, well, he's got the big long ball retriever.
He does.
And he goes in and digs that thing out.
He would.
And he goes home, cleans it up, and puts a little spray coated finish on the thing to make it nice and shiny again.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a legal golf ball?
I would think so.
Seems like it would be.
Right up until the thing I heard today, I would have sworn it would be.
Yeah,
but,
I got to find that out.
But if you tell me it is fine, then I, buddy, will believe you.
I got to find that out because I'd like to sniff that part out because I'm really unsure.
Okay.
If refurbished golf balls, because maybe they're saying right? I don't know where you heard it, but maybe they're correct, and maybe that the USGA has decided to get a little bit persnickety about this. And if so, what would it matter?
Yeah, and also, how would you tell?
Uh-huh.
That's my question. Because if you ask me, is this recycled? Go, no.
So you know who would come up with this rule to lobby for the USGA to come up with this rule?
New golf ball manufacturers.
Golf manufacturers.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
we sold that thing once. We don't get a chance to sell it twice.
That's right. It's like a used car, man. The manufacturer only gets the profit the first time, not any time after that. We have done high tech with Reed Dickens, the LA Shafts. We have done low tech with Marc Goldsmith, and we've done no tech with rules that nobody understands except Jeff. We'll be back in a few seconds and wrap everything up. Hang out with us. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. Of course, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Golf Guys. We would love it if you were to go there and like us. We'd love it even more if you'd go there and follow us, facebook.com/Golf Guys.
Attention anyone who is impacted by the current pandemic and has $2,000 or more in credit card debt. If any credit card companies extended your credit with attractive interest rates or low minimum balances, and now because of it you owe thousands of dollars in credit card debt, here's some really great news. It happened to millions of people at no fault of their own. But thanks to a powerful program now approved, anyone with $2,000 or more in credit card debt can cut their credit card payments up to half and reduce or eliminate interest charges altogether. That's right, our nationwide nonprofit program is helping U.S. residents cut their credit card payments. We've helped over 500,000 people with their credit card debt, and now we can help you. Bad credit card debt happens to good people. Get free of credit card debt today.
Call Credit Guard of America now at 800-672-6925 to see how this powerful nonprofit program can work for you. The call and information are free. Call 800-672-6925. That's 800-672-6925. 800-672-6925.
Oh, man, that was easy.
Come on, we're talking golf. How hard can this be?
We have
a couple of dummies out here talking about golf.
We have something coming up soon, and it's an opportunity for you to learn how to use this game to profit if you're in business, and it's specifically with golf scrambles. We have alluded to this. We have mentioned this. We've talked to a few people about this now and again. But we are actually going to mount a campaign, a course that'll run about probably 6 to 8 weeks online that will show you specifically how not to blow your opportunity to make money when you participate in a golf scramble. It will not only do that, but Jeff will have some tips on how to perfect one element of your game. Not get good at it, but perfect one element of your game, whichever you feel the most comfortable doing, whether you want to be the long guy off the tee, whether you want to be the guy who's deadly with his approach shots, or whether you want to be the best putter in the group.
Or
Jeff?
the guy who gets the ball in play after 3 other hacks have gone out there and sprayed it all over the planet.
Yeah, the one who can operate under pressure.
Yep.
That's the package, and the package will be available soon. Just go to thebusinessgolfcourse.com. Just sign up for an email. Just give us your email address, and we will let you know when the course is available. And at that point, you can see what it entails. It's going to be very soon because golf season has started, and golf scramble season. I'm not sure what it's like in your town, but in most towns we've ever been in, Jeff, there have been multiple scrambles every Monday of every week from springtime through late fall. And you were to participate in at least one a week.
I think if you participated in one every week, you're awesome. Like, let's say that you decide as a business person to play in one of those things every week. You can take clients. And you can put the right combination of people together.
That's right.
And really enhance business.
If you take the right people and ask them the right way, you will make more money every week than you thought was ever possible. In your own head right now, do the math. How much do you make per sale, or how much do you make per client per year? I'm sure you've got those numbers. Your average client is worth X amount of dollars per year. If you got one new one every week, how much would your business increase by? You don't have to tell me, just tell yourself. And then go to thebusinessgolfcourse.com and say, yes, John, Jeff, when that course is ready, which will be within the next week or so, I want to know about it. Do that. And then come back here next week, too. Is it next week? Yeah, next week. We're going to be up at American Dunes, grand opening in Michigan.
What a cool event that's going to be, right? Mr. Dan Rooney.
Yep.
Folds of Honor fame.
Yep.
And the course designer himself, the biggest name in golf for decades.
Yeah. Then between now and then, sign up for that email reminder about the business golf course, and then go play some golf.